Question 1. In Mississippi, which of the following is considered an example of a moral hazard in property insurance? A. A homeowner intentionally setting fire to their property to collect insurance proceeds. B. A homeowner failing to install smoke detectors because they believe their insurer will cover any fire damage. C. A homeowner living in a flood-prone area without purchasing flood insurance. D. A homeowner unintentionally leaving a candle burning, which causes a fire. Correct answer. A homeowner intentionally setting fire to their property to collect insurance proceeds. Explanation. Moral hazard refers to the increased risk of loss due to dishonesty or immoral behavior by the insured, such as committing fraud to receive insurance benefits. Option B refers to moral hazard, where carelessness or indifference increases risk, while options C and D describe risk-taking or accidental behavior not directly related to moral hazard. Relevant law. Under Mississippi insurance law, intentional acts like fraud, e.g., setting a fire, are not covered by insurance policies and can lead to criminal penalties and denial of claims. Question 2. Which of the following best describes an insurer's fiduciary duty in Mississippi? A. The duty to provide the lowest possible premium to policyholders. B. The responsibility to manage and handle the insured's money and transactions with the utmost care and honesty. C. The obligation to ensure that all claims are paid regardless of policy coverage. D. The responsibility to deny claims that would reduce company profits. Correct answer. B. The responsibility to manage and handle the insured's money and transactions with the utmost care and honesty. Explanation. An insurer's fiduciary duty requires that they act in good faith, manage the insured's funds responsibly, and handle all transactions honestly and fairly. Fiduciary duty also involves proper claims handling and compliance with state regulations. Options A, C, and D are incorrect because fiduciary duty focuses on ethical behavior and transparency, not solely profit or claims decisions. Relevant law. In Mississippi, fiduciary duties are strictly regulated by the Department of Insurance, and violations can lead to significant penalties, including fines and license revocation. Question 3. Mr. Garcia's home was damaged in a storm. The estimated cost of repairs is $100,000, but his policy has a coinsurance clause requiring 80% insurance coverage. Mr. Garcia's home was insured for $60,000 at the time of the loss. How much will the insurance company pay for the loss? A. $48,000. B. $60,000. C. $80,000. D. $100,000. Correct answer. A. $48,000. Explanation. Under a coinsurance clause, the insurer will pay a portion of the loss proportional to the coverage the insured carries compared to the required amount. Mr. Garcia was required to carry 80% of the home's value, or $80,000. Since he only carried $60,000, the insurer will only pay 60, 80, or 75% of the $100,000 loss, which equals $75,000. However, since the insured must also pay the deductible, the final payment is reduced to $48,000. Relevant rule. Coinsurance clauses are commonly found in property insurance policies in Mississippi, ensuring that policyholders adequately insure their property, with penalties for underinsuring. Question 4. Which of the following situations would be an example of vicarious liability under Mississippi law? A. A contractor accidentally damages a neighbor's property while working on a client's home. B. A company is held liable for an employee's actions when the employee causes an accident during a work-related delivery. C. A homeowner is liable for injuries sustained by a visitor who trips over their rug. D. A landlord is held liable for damages to a tenant's property due to a flood in the rental unit. Correct answer. B. A company is held liable for an employee's actions when the employee causes an accident during a work-related delivery. Explanation. Vicarious liability occurs when one party, such as an employer, is held responsible for the actions of another, such as an employee, even though the responsible party was not directly involved in the incident. In this case, the employer is liable for the employee's accident while on the job. Options A, C, and D refer to personal or property liability, but not vicarious liability. Relevant law. Mississippi follows the doctrine of respondit superior, which holds employers liable for their employees' actions when those actions occur within the scope of employment. Question 5. Under the Mississippi Insurance Code, which of the following actions by an insurance producer could result in disciplinary action by the commissioner? A. Charging a lower premium than required by state law. B. Failing to disclose commissions earned on a policy. C. Providing policyholders with financial advice without a license. D. Misrepresenting material facts of a policy to a client. Correct answer. D. Misrepresenting material facts of the policy to a client. Explanation. Misrepresentation of material facts is a violation of Mississippi insurance regulations and can lead to penalties such as fines, license suspension, or revocation. Providing false or misleading information to clients undermines the integrity of the insurance process. Options A and B may involve pricing or commission disclosures, but these are not typically grounds for disciplinary action. Option C might require a separate license but is not specific to insurance misrepresentation. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83529 prohibits misrepresentation and fraud by insurance producers. Question 6. Scenario type. Miss Jones, a homeowner in Mississippi, has a policy covering $200,000 on her home. A fire causes $80,000 worth of damage. However, her policy includes a replacement cost endorsement. Which of the following would be the most appropriate course of action for Miss Jones and her insurer? A. The insurer will pay the actual cash value of the loss, which includes depreciation of the damaged property. B. The insurer will pay the full replacement cost of the damaged property without any depreciation deducted. C. The insurer will deny the claim if Miss Jones fails to provide proof of repairs within 60 days. D. The insurer will only pay the first $50,000 due to policy limits on fire damage. Correct answer. B. The insurer will pay the full replacement cost of the damaged property without any depreciation deducted. Explanation. A replacement cost endorsement requires the insurer to pay the full cost of repairing or replacing damaged property without factoring in depreciation, provided the policyholder follows the terms of the policy. Option A refers to actual cash value, ACV, which includes depreciation, but this is not applicable with a replacement cost endorsement. Option C involves procedural details, but most policies offer more than 60 days for submitting proof. Option D is incorrect because the policy does not mention fire damage limits in the scenario. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance contracts with replacement cost endorsements allow homeowners to recover the cost of repairs or replacements without depreciation, as long as coverage limits and conditions are met. Question 7. Which of the following best describes an aleatory contract in the context of Mississippi insurance law? A. A contract that allows either party to cancel at any time without reason. B. A contract where the obligations of one or both parties are conditional on the occurrence of an uncertain event. C. A contract where both parties have equal obligations at the time of agreement. D. A contract that is based on fraudulent misrepresentations by one of the parties. Correct answer. B. A contract where the obligations of one or both parties are conditional on the occurrence of an uncertain event. Explanation. An aleatory contract involves an exchange where performance depends on the occurrence of an uncertain event, such as a loss in insurance. For example, the insurer's obligation to pay benefits is contingent upon a loss occurring. Options A, C, and D mischaracterize aleatory contracts. Relevant law. Aleatory contracts are common in insurance as they rely on future events, e.g., accidents, losses, and are enforceable under Mississippi contract law as long as they meet the basic requirements of a valid contract. Question 8. Which of the following describes a situation where the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, applies in Mississippi insurance? A. When an insurance company uses an individual's driving history to set auto insurance premiums. B. When an insurer uses a consumer's credit score to determine rates or eligibility for a policy. C. When an insurer denies a claim based on the policyholder's previous insurance claims history. D. When an insurance agent makes a recommendation based on a customer's employment status. Correct answer. B. When an insurer uses a consumer's credit score to determine rates or eligibility for a policy. Explanation. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, governs the use of credit reports and scores in underwriting decisions, including those made by insurers. When an insurer uses a credit score to determine policy rates or eligibility, they must comply with FCRA's requirements for notification and transparency. Options A, C, and D involve factors other than credit history and are not directly governed by FCRA. Relevant law. The FCRA applies to insurance underwriting processes that involve credit checks, ensuring consumers are notified if adverse actions are based on their credit history. Question 9. What is the primary purpose of the Mississippi Automobile Insurance Plan, MSAPE, to provide reduced insurance premiums for low-income drivers? B. To offer auto insurance coverage to high-risk drivers who are unable to obtain insurance in the voluntary market. C. To set mandatory minimum liability limits for all auto insurance policies in the state. D. To provide temporary coverage to new drivers until they are approved by a private insurer. Correct answer. B. To offer auto insurance coverage to high-risk drivers who are unable to obtain insurance in the voluntary market. Explanation. The Mississippi Automobile Insurance Plan, MSAPE, is designed to help drivers who are considered high risk and have difficulty obtaining auto insurance through traditional channels. These drivers are assigned to insurers who participate in the plan. Options A, C, and D describe unrelated or incorrect functions of the MSAIP. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance regulations mandate the creation of assigned risk plans like MSAIP to ensure that high-risk drivers have access to necessary auto insurance coverage. Question 10. Which of the following is considered absolute liability under Mississippi insurance law? A. Liability assumed by an insured even in the absence of fault for inherently dangerous activities. B. Liability that arises only when negligence can be proven in court. C. Liability that is limited by the terms of the insurance policy's exclusions. D. Liability that is capped at the state's minimum insurance coverage limits. Correct answer. A liability assumed by an insured even in the absence of fault for inherently dangerous activities. Explanation. Absolute liability is imposed for certain activities that are considered inherently dangerous, such as owning wild animals or using explosives, and applies regardless of whether the party was negligent. Options B, C, and D incorrectly limit or misrepresent the nature of absolute liability. Relevant law. Absolute liability is a strict form of liability under Mississippi law, where the insured can be held responsible for damages even without direct fault or negligence. Question 11. Under Mississippi law, what is the minimum required liability coverage for bodily injury to one person in an auto accident? A. $15,000. B. $25,000. C. $50,000. D. $75,000. Correct answer. B. $25,000. Explanation. Mississippi law requires that drivers carry a minimum of $25,000 in liability coverage for bodily injury to one person in an auto accident. This ensures that victims of accidents have access to at least a base level of financial compensation for injuries. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 63153 outlines the minimum liability coverage requirements for bodily injury and property damage in auto insurance policies. Question 12. Which of the following perils is typically covered under a standard Mississippi homeowners policy? HA3, A. Earthquake. B. Flood. C. Fire. D. War. Correct answer. C. Fire. Explanation. A standard HA3 homeowners policy covers a variety of perils, including fire. Perils such as earthquakes and floods usually require separate policies or endorsements, and war is typically excluded from coverage altogether. Relevant law. The Mississippi Department of Insurance regulates homeowners insurance policies and must follow standard ISO Insurance Services Office forms such as the HA3, which includes fire coverage. Question 13. In Mississippi, which of the following is an example of a moral hazard in property insurance? A home is located in a high-crime area, making it more likely to be burglarized. B. A policyholder intentionally damages their own property to collect insurance money. C. A homeowner installs a security system, lowering the risk of theft. D. A policyholder purchases a property in a flood zone without knowing the risk. Correct answer. B. A policyholder intentionally damages their own property to collect insurance money. Explanation. A moral hazard occurs when an insured party engages in reckless or fraudulent behavior because they have insurance coverage. Intentionally damaging property to collect insurance money is a clear example of this. Option A refers to a physical hazard. Option C reduces risk. And option D. Involves lack of knowledge, not intentional risk. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance law prohibits fraudulent claims, and moral hazard is a key consideration in risk assessment and claims evaluation. Question 14. If an insurance company in Mississippi cancels an auto insurance policy for non-payment of premiums, how much notice must the insurer provide to the policyholder? A. 10 days. B. 15 days. C. 20 days. D. 30 days. Correct answer. A. 10 days. Explanation. Mississippi law requires insurers to provide at least 10 days' notice before canceling an auto insurance policy due to non-payment of premiums. This allows the policyholder some time to make the necessary payments to avoid cancellation. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83115 details the requirements for notification when canceling policies due to non-payment of premiums. Question 15. What is the primary purpose of the Mississippi Workers' Compensation Program? A. To provide temporary unemployment benefits to workers. B. To provide health insurance for employees and their families. C. To compensate employees for injuries or illnesses sustained while on the job. D. To offer retirement benefits to state employees. Correct answer. C. To compensate employees for injuries or illnesses sustained while on the job. Explanation. The Mississippi Workers' Compensation Program provides financial compensation to employees who are injured or become ill as a result of their employment. It helps cover medical expenses and lost wages. Options A, B, and D describe other benefits programs but not workers' compensation. Relevant law. Mississippi Workers' Compensation Law, Miss. Code SS 7131 ensures employees are compensated for work-related injuries and illnesses. Question 16. In Mississippi, what is the incontestability clause for a life insurance policy? A. The clause that guarantees coverage will be provided as long as premiums are paid on time. B. A provision that allows the insurer to contest the policyholder's application for fraud after 2 years. C. A provision that prevents the insurer from denying coverage after a policy has been in force for 2 years, except for non-payment of premiums. D. A clause that allows the policyholder to change beneficiaries without the insurer's consent. Correct answer. C. A provision that prevents the insurer from denying coverage after a policy has been in force for 2 years, except for non-payment of premiums. Explanation. The incontestability clause limits the insurer's ability to deny claims or void the policy after it has been in force for a certain period, usually 2 years, except for cases of fraud or non-payment of premiums. Option B misstates the clause's purpose, and options A and D describe different policy provisions. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance law requires an incontestability clause in life insurance policies to protect policyholders after the specified time period. Question 17. Under Mississippi insurance regulations, what is the coinsurance clause typically found in commercial property policies? A clause that requires the policyholder to carry insurance equal to a specified percentage of the property's value to receive full payment for a loss. B. A clause that allows the insurer to split losses with other insurers on a policy. C. A provision that requires the policyholder to pay the first 10% of any claim. D. A provision that limits coverage for high-value items such as jewelry and artwork. Correct answer. A clause that requires the policyholder to carry insurance equal to a specified percentage of the property's value to receive full payment for a loss. Explanation. A coinsurance clause requires the insured to maintain coverage equal to a specified percentage, usually 80% of the property's value. If the insured fails to meet this requirement, they may receive reduced compensation for a loss. Options B, C, and D describe other types of provisions but not coinsurance. Relevant law. Commercial property policies in Mississippi often include a coinsurance clause to ensure policyholders maintain adequate coverage. Question 18. Which of the following is not covered by Mississippi's uninsured motorist coverage? A. Medical bills from injuries caused by a hit-and-run driver. B. Damage to the policyholder's vehicle caused by an uninsured driver. C. Lost wages due to injuries caused by an uninsured driver. D. Damage to the policyholder's property caused by vandalism. Correct answer. D. Damage to the policyholder's property caused by vandalism. Explanation. Uninsured motorist coverage protects policyholders from losses caused by drivers who are uninsured or involved in a hit-and run. It does not cover property damage caused by vandalism, which would fall under comprehensive coverage. Options A, B, and C are examples of losses typically covered by uninsured motorist coverage. Relevant law: Mississippi Code SS 8311101 mandates uninsured motorist coverage for personal injury and property damage resulting from accidents with uninsured drivers. Question 19. If a property owner in Mississippi has a dwelling under construction policy, when does coverage begin? A, when construction starts. B, when the foundation is laid. C, when the owner moves into the completed dwelling. D, when the first premium is paid. Correct answer: A, when construction starts. Explanation: a dwelling under construction policy typically provides coverage starting from the moment construction begins. This ensures that the building and materials are protected from damage during the construction process. Options B, C, and D either misstate the starting point or involve unrelated events. Relevant law: Mississippi property insurance policies include provisions for dwellings under construction to protect builders and owners during the construction phase. Question 20. What is subrogation in the context of Mississippi insurance claims? A, the process by which an insurer recovers costs from the party responsible for the loss. B, the transfer of a life insurance policy from one insured party to another. C, the cancellation of a policy due to non-payment of premiums. D, the insurer's denial of a claim based on policy exclusions. Correct answer: A, the process by which an insurer recovers costs from the party responsible for the loss. Explanation: subrogation allows an insurer to recover the amount paid for a claim from a third party who was responsible for causing the loss. This helps the insurer avoid paying for damages caused by another's negligence. Options B, C, and D refer to unrelated processes in insurance. Relevant law: Mississippi insurance contracts typically include subrogation clauses, allowing insurers to recover costs from liable third parties. Question 21. Which of the following is true about the Mississippi Insurance Guarantee Association, MIGA? A, it protects policyholders in the event their insurance company becomes insolvent. B, it provides health insurance to Mississippi residents who are uninsured. C, it is responsible for setting premium rates for insurance companies in Mississippi. D, it regulates the issuance of surplus lines insurance in the state. Correct answer: A, it protects policyholders in the event their insurance company becomes insolvent. Explanation: the Mississippi Insurance Guarantee Association, MIGA, provides protection to policyholders by covering claims in the event that an insurer becomes insolvent. This ensures that policyholders are not left without coverage if their insurer fails. MIGA does not provide health insurance or regulate premiums, and surplus lines insurance is regulated separately. Relevant law: Mississippi Code SS 8323101 establishes MIGA and its role in protecting policyholders. Question 22. In Mississippi, which of the following is a standard exclusion in a commercial general liability CGL policy? A, bodily injury caused by a third party. B, damage to the insured's own property. C, advertising injury. D, products and completed operations. Correct answer: B, damage to the insured's own property. Explanation: a commercial general liability CGL policy generally excludes damage to the insured's own property, as this is typically covered under a property insurance policy. A CGL policy covers bodily injury to third parties, advertising injury, and products completed operations, but not the insured's own property. Relevant law: Mississippi follows standard ISO Insurance Services Office policy forms for CGL coverage, which include this exclusion. Question 23. Which of the following would be covered under a Mississippi commercial property insurance policy? A, damage caused by a flood. B, damage to inventory caused by a fire. C, loss of business income due to a power outage off premises. D, intentional damage by the policyholder. Correct answer: B, damage to inventory caused by a fire. Explanation: a commercial property insurance policy typically covers damage to a business's inventory caused by a covered peril such as fire. Flood damage requires separate flood insurance. Off-premises power outage is not usually covered unless endorsed. and intentional damage by the policyholder is excluded. Relevant law. Commercial property policies in Mississippi are regulated by the Department of Insurance and typically follow standard ISO forms. Question 24. In Mississippi, what is the purpose of an umbrella liability policy? A. To cover high-value items such as jewelry and artwork. B. To provide excess liability coverage beyond the limits of an underlying policy. C. To insure against floods and earthquakes. D. To provide first dollar coverage for small liability claims. Correct answer. B. To provide excess liability coverage beyond the limits of an underlying policy. Explanation. An umbrella liability policy provides additional liability coverage above the limits of underlying policies such as auto or homeowners insurance. It offers broader protection for large claims that exceed the policy limits of primary insurance. Umbrella policies do not cover specific perils like floods or provide first dollar coverage. Relevant law. Umbrella policies are widely used in Mississippi to provide additional liability protection for businesses and individuals. Question 25. What is required under Mississippi law when a driver is involved in an accident causing injury, death, or property damage exceeding $500? A. Notify their insurance company within 30 days. B. File a report with the Mississippi Department of Public Safety within 10 days. C. Pay a fine within 15 days. D. Settle the claim with the other party within 20 days. Correct answer. B. File a report with the Mississippi Department of Public Safety within 10 days. Explanation. Mississippi law requires drivers involved in accidents causing injury, death, or significant property damage to file a report with the Mississippi Department of Public Safety within 10 days. This helps authorities keep track of accidents and ensures that drivers comply with legal requirements. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 633411 outlines accident reporting requirements for drivers in the state. Question 26. In Mississippi, which of the following types of insurance would cover an employee's medical bills if they were injured on the job? A. Health insurance. B. Workers' compensation insurance. C. General liability insurance. D. Disability insurance. Correct answer. B. Workers' compensation insurance. Explanation. Workers' compensation insurance provides coverage for employees who are injured on the job, including medical bills, lost wages, and rehabilitation costs. Health insurance generally does not cover work-related injuries, which are specifically covered under workers' compensation laws. Relevant law. Mississippi Workers' Compensation Act, Miss. Code SS 7131 mandates that employers provide workers' compensation coverage for employees. Question 27. Which of the following is an OT requirement for an insurance contract to be valid in Mississippi? A. Offer and acceptance. B. Insurable interest. C. Consideration. D. A formal written document. Correct answer. D. A formal written document. Explanation. An insurance contract does not always need to be a formal written document to be valid, though most are written for clarity and record keeping. The essential elements of a valid contract in Mississippi are offer and acceptance, consideration, the premium, and an insurable interest in the subject of the policy. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance law requires the basic elements of contract law to be present for insurance policies to be enforceable, but they do not necessarily need to be in writing. Question 28. What is the maximum fine the Mississippi Commissioner of Insurance can impose on an individual for violating the insurance laws of the state? A. $1,000 per violation. B. $5,000 per violation. C. $10,000 per violation. D. $25,000 per violation. Correct answer. B. $5,000 per violation. Explanation. The Mississippi Commissioner of Insurance has the authority to impose fines of up to $5,000 per violation of state insurance laws. This penalty helps enforce compliance and deter unlawful behavior by insurance professionals and companies. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 831771 grants the Commissioner the authority to impose these penalties. Question 29. In Mississippi, what is the required grace period for paying overdue premiums on a life insurance policy? A. 10 days. B. 20 days. C. 30 days. D. 45 days. Correct answer. C. 30 days. Explanation. Mississippi law mandates a 30-day grace period for the payment of overdue premiums on life insurance policies. During this period, the policy remains in effect, and the policyholder has time to make the required payment without losing coverage. Relevant law, Mississippi Code SS 83715 outlines the grace period requirement for life insurance policies. Question 30. Which of the following best describes Mississippi's no-fault insurance system for auto accidents? A. All parties involved in an accident must file claims with their own insurance companies regardless of fault. B. Drivers can only recover damages if the other party is proven at fault. C. Mississippi does not have a no-fault insurance system and drivers must prove fault to recover damages. D. Both parties involved in an accident share equal responsibility for the damages. Correct answer. C. Mississippi does not have a no-fault insurance system and drivers must prove fault to recover damages. Explanation. Mississippi operates under a traditional fault-based system for auto accidents. This means that the party at fault is responsible for compensating the injured parties. Unlike no-fault states, Mississippi drivers must establish fault before they can recover damages from the other party's insurance. Relevant law. Mississippi follows a tort-based auto insurance system as outlined in state insurance laws rather than a no-fault system. Question 31. Which of the following is true regarding Mississippi's financial responsibility law for automobile insurance? A. Drivers must carry proof of insurance at all times. B. It only applies to drivers involved in traffic accidents. C. The minimum liability limits are $15,000 per person and $30,000 per accident for bodily injury. D. It allows drivers to operate vehicles without insurance as long as they have never had an accident. Correct answer. A. Drivers must carry proof of insurance at all times. Explanation. Mississippi's financial responsibility law requires drivers to carry proof of insurance at all times, demonstrating that they meet the state's minimum liability requirements. The law does not apply only to accidents, and while the minimum limits used to be $15,000, $30,000, they have been updated to $25,000, $50,000 for bodily injury, and $25,000 for property damage. Operating a vehicle without insurance is illegal. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 63153 sets forth the state's financial responsibility requirements. Question 32. Under Mississippi's uninsured motorist coverage law, which of the following is correct? A. coverage is mandatory in Mississippi. B. coverage protects policyholders if they are hit by a driver without adequate insurance. C. coverage only applies to vehicle damage, not bodily injury. D. coverage is available for commercial vehicles only. Correct answer. B. coverage protects policyholders if they are hit by a driver without adequate insurance. Explanation. Uninsured motorist coverage in Mississippi provides protection for insureds when they are involved in an accident with a driver who either has no insurance or insufficient coverage. coverage is not mandatory but must be offered by insurers. Policyholders can reject the coverage in writing if they choose. coverage applies to bodily injury and, in some cases, property damage. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 8311101 outlines coverage requirements. Question 33. Which of the following perils is typically covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy in Mississippi? A. Earthquake. B. Flood. C. Windstorm. D. Termite damage. Correct answer. C. Windstorm. Explanation. A standard homeowner's insurance policy typically covers windstorm damage, which is a common peril in Mississippi due to its location and weather patterns. Earthquake and flood coverage require separate policies or endorsements, while termite damage is usually excluded from homeowners' policies. Relevant law. Mississippi homeowners insurance policies generally follow standard ISO Insurance Services Office forms that include windstorm coverage. Question 34. In Mississippi, which of the following statements is true regarding flood insurance? A. Flood insurance is included in standard homeowners policies. B. Flood insurance is required by law for all homeowners. C. Flood insurance is available through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP. D. Flood insurance covers all types of water damage. Correct answer. C. Flood insurance is available through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP. Explanation. Flood insurance is not included in standard homeowners policies and is not required for all homeowners. However, it is available through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, and is mandatory for homeowners with federally backed mortgages in high-risk flood zones. Flood insurance typically covers damage caused by rising water from natural sources but does not cover all types of water damage such as burst pipes. Relevant law. The NFIP, established under the National Flood Insurance Act of 1968, governs flood insurance in Mississippi and other states. Question 35. What is the primary function of Mississippi's Windstorm Underwriting Association, MUA? A. To regulate windstorm premiums across the state. B. To provide windstorm and hail insurance to coastal residents who cannot find coverage elsewhere. C. To oversee the rebuilding of homes after a windstorm. D. To offer financial assistance to homeowners affected by hurricanes. Correct answer. B. To provide windstorm and hail insurance to coastal residents who cannot find coverage elsewhere. Explanation. The Mississippi Windstorm Underwriting Association, MUA, offers windstorm and hail insurance to coastal residents who cannot obtain coverage from private insurers due to the high risk of hurricanes and other wind-related disasters. The MWUA acts as an insurer of last resort. Relevant law. The MWUA was created by Mississippi Code SS 83341 to ensure that residents in high-risk areas have access to windstorm and hail coverage. Question 36. Which of the following is a requirement for becoming a licensed property and casualty insurance agent in Mississippi? A. Having a college degree in business or finance. B. Completing a pre-licensing education course. C. Passing the national insurance exam. D. Having at least 5 years of experience in the insurance industry. Correct answer. B. Completing a pre-licensing education course. Explanation. To become a licensed property and casualty insurance agent in Mississippi, candidates must complete a state-approved pre-licensing education course and pass the state's insurance licensing exam. A college degree is not required, and the exam is state-specific, not a national exam. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 8317251 governs the licensing requirements for insurance agents. Question 37. Which type of coverage in a Mississippi business owner's policy, BOP, protects against loss of income due to covered peril? A. Property insurance. B. Liability insurance. C. Business interruption insurance. D. Workers' compensation insurance. Correct answer. C. Business interruption insurance. Explanation. Business interruption insurance, included in many business owners' policies, BOPs, protects businesses by providing compensation for lost income when operations are interrupted due to covered peril, such as a fire or natural disaster. Property insurance covers physical damage, and liability insurance protects against third-party claims, while workers' compensation covers employee injuries. Relevant law. BOPs in Mississippi generally follow standard forms, which include business interruption coverage. Question 38. Under Mississippi law, which of the following is considered a reason for an insurer to cancel a property insurance policy? A. The policyholder changes the deductible. B. The policyholder files a claim for water damage. C. The policyholder fails to pay the premium. D. The policyholder adds additional insureds to the policy. Correct answer. C. The policyholder fails to pay the premium. Explanation. In Mississippi, non-payment of premiums is a valid reason for an insurer to cancel a property insurance policy. Filing a claim or making changes to the policy, such as adjusting deductibles or adding insureds, is not grounds for cancellation unless fraud is involved. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83528 outlines acceptable reasons for policy cancellation. Question 39. Which of the following coverages would protect a Mississippi business from claims related to copyright infringement in its advertising? A. Property insurance. B. Workers' compensation insurance. C. Commercial auto insurance. D. Advertising injury liability insurance. Correct answer. D. Advertising injury liability insurance. Explanation. Advertising injury liability insurance protects businesses from claims related to intellectual property violations such as copyright infringement, false advertising, and defamation. It is typically included in a commercial general liability CGL policy. Relevant law. Advertising injury coverage is generally provided as part of the CGL policy under ISO forms. Question 40. In Mississippi, which of the following is required to be disclosed in an insurance policy? A. The name and address of the policyholder. B. The claims history of the insured. C. The insurer's financial statements. D. The tax status of premiums. Correct answer. A. The name and address of the policyholder. Explanation. An insurance policy in Mississippi must include basic identifying information such as the name and address of the policyholder, the insured, and the insurer. Financial statements of the insurer and the tax status of premiums are not typically included in the policy itself. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83535 requires certain information to be disclosed in insurance contracts, including the policyholder's identifying details. Question 41. Which of the following is true regarding Mississippi's requirements for workers' compensation insurance for employers? A. Workers' compensation insurance is mandatory for all businesses in the state. B. Workers' compensation insurance is optional for businesses with fewer than 5 employees. C. Employers are required to provide workers' compensation insurance only for part-time employees. D. Employers with fewer than 5 employees are exempt unless they are in the construction industry. Correct answer. D. Employers with fewer than 5 employees are exempt unless they are in the construction industry. Explanation. In Mississippi, employers with fewer than 5 employees are generally exempt from providing workers' compensation insurance, except for businesses in the construction industry, where coverage is mandatory regardless of the number of employees. Relevant law. Mississippi Workers' Compensation Law, Title 71, Chapter 3. Question 42. Which of the following statements about Mississippi's value policy law is correct? A. The insurer must pay the full amount of insurance in the event of a total loss by fire. B. The insurer only pays for the actual cash value of the property destroyed by fire. C. The value policy law applies to all perils covered by homeowners insurance. D. Insurers can contest the amount of coverage after a fire loss. Correct answer. A. The insurer must pay the full amount of insurance in the event of a total loss by fire. Explanation. Mississippi's value policy law requires insurers to pay the face amount of the policy in the event of a total loss caused by fire, regardless of the actual value of the property at the time of the loss. This law is designed to prevent disputes over the value of a loss after it occurs. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83135, Value Policy Law. Question 43. Which of the following is true about Mississippi's Insurance Guarantee Association? A. It provides protection for policyholders in the event of insurer insolvency. B. It guarantees claims will be paid in full, regardless of the amount. C. It only applies to life insurance policies. D. It is a state-run insurance company. Correct answer. A. It provides protection for policyholders in the event of insurer insolvency. Explanation. The Mississippi Insurance Guarantee Association provides limited protection to policyholders and claimants if an insurance company becomes insolvent. It covers property and casualty insurance claims but does not guarantee payment in full for all claims. There are limits on the amount that can be paid. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 8323101 governs the Mississippi Insurance Guarantee Association. Question 44. Which of the following is an example of an endorsement in property insurance policies commonly used in Mississippi? A. Flood coverage endorsement. B. Home maintenance endorsement. C. Vehicle protection endorsement. D. Liability increase endorsement. Correct answer. A. Flood coverage endorsement. Explanation. A flood coverage endorsement is often added to property insurance policies, especially in high-risk flood areas in Mississippi. Standard property insurance policies do not include flood coverage, so an endorsement or a separate flood insurance policy through the NFIP is required. Relevant law. Flood insurance coverage is regulated at the federal level through the NFIP, but Mississippi policies can have state-specific endorsements. Question 45. Which of the following is an acceptable reason for non-renewal of a homeowner's policy in Mississippi? A. The insured makes a single claim. B. The insured has installed a swimming pool. C. The insured has committed fraud on a claim. D. The insured requests a change in coverage limits. Correct answer. C. The insured has committed fraud on a claim. Explanation. Fraud on a claim is a valid reason for an insurer to not renew a homeowner's policy in Mississippi. Single claims or changes in the policy, such as installing a pool or adjusting coverage limits, are not typically grounds for non-renewal unless they significantly alter the risk. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83528 covers policy renewal and non-renewal guidelines. Question 46. Mississippi law requires that the minimum amount of liability coverage for bodily injury per accident in an auto policy is A. $10,000, B. $15,000, C. $25,000, D. $50,000. Correct answer. C. $25,000. Explanation. The minimum liability limit for bodily injury in Mississippi is $25,000 per person and $50,000 per accident. This is the minimum coverage required by the state's financial responsibility law. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 63153 sets the minimum auto insurance liability limits. Question 47. In Mississippi, what is the standard waiting period for flood insurance policies to become effective after purchase? A. 1 day. B. 7 days. C. 15 days. D. 30 days. Correct answer. D. 30 days. Explanation. Flood insurance policies in Mississippi, typically purchased through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, have a standard waiting period of 30 days from the date of purchase before the coverage becomes effective, except in cases where coverage is required for a mortgage. Relevant law. The NFIP sets the 30-day waiting period as a standard policy rule. Question 48. Which of the following is true regarding Mississippi's no-fault automobile insurance system? A. Mississippi uses a no-fault insurance system. B. Mississippi uses a modified no-fault insurance system. C. Mississippi does not have a no-fault insurance system. D. Mississippi only requires no-fault insurance for commercial vehicles. Correct answer. C. Mississippi does not have a no-fault insurance system. Explanation. Mississippi operates under a traditional tort liability system for auto insurance, meaning that the at-fault driver is responsible for paying the damages in an accident. The state does not use a no-fault system, where each party would rely on their own insurance for claims. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 63153 outlines the state's auto insurance requirements. Question 49. Which of the following best describes the term actual cash value in a property insurance policy in Mississippi? A. The cost to repair or replace the damaged property without depreciation. B. The cost to repair or replace the damaged property minus depreciation. C. The amount the property was worth when it was purchased. D. The appraised market value of the property. Correct answer. B. The cost to repair or replace the damaged property minus depreciation. Explanation. Actual cash value, ACV, is defined as the replacement cost of the damaged property minus depreciation for age, wear, and tear. ACV provides a value of the property at the time of the loss, considering its condition. Relevant law. Standard insurance policies in Mississippi use the ACV definition for certain types of property coverage. Question 50. Which of the following is true about subrogation in a Mississippi insurance policy? A. Subrogation allows the insured to receive double compensation. B. Subrogation is used to prevent the insured from suing the insurer. C. Subrogation allows the insurer to pursue recovery from a third party after compensating the insured. D. Subrogation requires the insured to pay back the insurer for any claims paid. Correct answer. C. Subrogation allows the insurer to pursue recovery from a third party after compensating the insured. Explanation. Subrogation gives the insurer the right to recover amounts paid to the insured from a third party that may be responsible for the loss. The insured cannot collect twice for the same loss, and subrogation prevents unjust enrichment. Relevant law. Subrogation clauses are standard in Mississippi property and casualty insurance policies, following general insurance principles. Question 51. Which of the following best describes the term insurable interest for Eureka, Mississippi property insurance policy? A. The policyholder must profit from a covered loss. B. The policyholder must have a financial stake in the property insured. C. The insurer must have an interest in the insured's property. D. The policyholder must be a resident of Mississippi to have an insurable interest. Correct answer. B. The policyholder must have a financial stake in the property insured. Explanation. Insurable interest means that the policyholder must have a financial or economic interest in the property being insured. If the policyholder does not stand to suffer a financial loss in the event of damage or destruction, they do not have an insurable interest, and the insurance policy would be void. Relevant law. Mississippi Code does not explicitly define insurable interest, but it follows general insurance principles that require a financial stake in the property. Question 52. In Mississippi, how long does an insurer have to acknowledge receipt of a claim after it has been filed? A. 10 days. B. 15 days. C. 30 days. D. 45 days. Correct answer. B. 15 days. Explanation. Mississippi insurance regulations require insurers to acknowledge receipt of a claim within 15 days of the notice being received. This is to ensure that claims are handled promptly and that the policyholder is kept informed throughout the process. Relevant law. Mississippi Department of Insurance regulations require prompt communication on claims. Question 53. What is the standard statute of limitations for filing a property damage lawsuit in Mississippi? A. 1 year. B. 3 years. C. 5 years. D. 7 years. Correct answer. B. 3 years. Explanation. In Mississippi, the statute of limitations for filing a lawsuit related to property damage is 3 years from the date of the loss or damage. If a lawsuit is not filed within this time frame, the claim may be barred by law. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 15149 sets the general 3-year statute of limitations for tort claims, including property damage. Question 54. Under Mississippi law, what must be provided to an insured when a homeowner's policy is non-renewed due to underwriting reasons? A. A letter with no explanation is sufficient. B. A copy of the policy's declaration page. C. A written explanation stating the specific reason for non-renewal. D. Only a verbal notice is required. Correct answer. C. A written explanation stating the specific reason for non-renewal. Explanation. Mississippi law requires insurers to provide a written explanation when a homeowner's policy is non-renewed. The explanation must clearly state the specific reason for the non-renewal decision. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83117 outlines the requirement for a written notice and explanation of non-renewal. Question 55. In Mississippi, which of the following is true regarding the Mississippi Windstorm Underwriting Association, MUA? A. It provides coverage for all types of property insurance. B. It only offers wind and hail coverage in designated coastal areas. C. It provides coverage statewide for flood damage. D. It is a private insurer offering comprehensive property policies. Correct answer. B. It only offers wind and hail coverage in designated coastal areas. Explanation. The Mississippi Windstorm Underwriting Association, MUA, provides coverage for wind and hail damage in certain high-risk coastal areas where standard insurers may not offer wind coverage. It does not cover flood damage, which is covered separately by the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP. Relevant law. The MWUA operates under the Mississippi Windstorm Underwriting Association Act. Question 56. Which of the following perils is typically excluded from a standard homeowner's insurance policy in Mississippi? A. Fire. B. Windstorm. C. Earthquake. D. Theft. Correct answer. C. Earthquake. Explanation. Earthquake coverage is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies and must be purchased separately as an endorsement or a standalone policy. Standard policies typically cover fire, windstorm, and theft. Relevant law. Mississippi policies generally follow the ISO standard exclusions, which include earthquakes. Question 57. Which of the following describes the purpose of the Mississippi Coastal Plan? A. To ensure all properties in Mississippi have flood coverage. B. To provide affordable wind and hail insurance in high-risk coastal areas. C. To limit the number of policies sold in coastal areas. D. To provide government-subsidized comprehensive property insurance. Correct answer. B. To provide affordable wind and hail insurance in high-risk coastal areas. Explanation. The Mississippi Coastal Plan is designed to make wind and hail insurance available to property owners in high-risk coastal areas where private insurers may not offer such coverage. This plan helps ensure that residents in these areas can obtain coverage for wind and hail damage. Relevant law. The Mississippi Windstorm Underwriting Association operates the Coastal Plan to provide wind and hail coverage. Question 58. Which of the following is required under Mississippi law for an insurance policy to be considered? Binder coverage. A. A binder must include the insured's signature. B. A binder provides temporary coverage until the policy is issued. C. A binder can only be issued for a period of 7 days. D. A binder must be issued by a judge. Correct answer. B. A binder provides temporary coverage until the policy is issued. Explanation. In Mississippi, an insurance binder is a temporary contract that provides coverage until the formal insurance policy is issued. It offers protection in the interim, and the terms of the binder are typically governed by the terms of the pending policy. Relevant law. Mississippi Code Title 83 governs the issuance of binders. Question 59. What is the maximum amount of time that an insurance policy can be backdated under Mississippi law? A. 30 days. B. 60 days. C. 90 days. D. 1 year. Correct answer. A. 30 days. Explanation. Mississippi law limits the backdating of insurance policies to 30 days. Backdating is typically done to align the effective date of the policy with a specific event, such as a mortgage closing. Backdating beyond 30 days is generally prohibited. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance regulations set limits on backdating to prevent potential fraud or unfair practices. Question 60. In Mississippi, what type of insurance company is domiciled in Mississippi and primarily operates in the state? A. A foreign insurer. B. A domestic insurer. C. An alien insurer. D. A surplus lines insurer. Correct answer. B. A domestic insurer. Explanation. A domestic insurer is a company that is incorporated and domiciled in Mississippi and primarily operates within the state. Foreign insurers are based in other U.S. states, while alien insurers are based outside of the United States. Surplus lines insurers provide coverage for risks that standard insurers do not cover. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83211 defines domestic, foreign, and alien insurers. Question 61. Which of the following is NOT requirement for obtaining a property insurance license in Mississippi? A. Being at least 18 years old. B. Completing a pre-licensing education course. C. Passing a state licensing examination. D. Being a resident of Mississippi for at least 5 years. Correct answer. D. Being a resident of Mississippi for at least 5 years. Explanation. To obtain a property insurance license in Mississippi, candidates must be at least 18 years old, complete a pre-licensing education course, and pass the licensing examination. However, there is no requirement to be a resident for a specific number of years, just that the candidate be a resident of the state or a non-resident who complies with Mississippi's laws. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83171 et sec. outlines licensing requirements. Question 62. What type of coverage does a personal auto policy, PAP, provide for vehicles that are used for business purposes? A. Full coverage. B. Exclusion for business use. C. Limited coverage. D. Coverage only if specifically endorsed. Correct answer. B. Exclusion for business use. Explanation. A personal auto policy typically excludes coverage for vehicles that are used primarily for business purposes. If the vehicle is used for business, the insured may need a commercial auto policy or an endorsement to the personal policy to ensure proper coverage. Relevant law. Mississippi follows standard ISO personal auto policy guidelines regarding business use exclusions. Question 63. In Mississippi, what is the maximum fine that can be imposed for an insurance company that violates state regulations? A. $1,000. B. $5,000. C. $10,000. D. $25,000. Correct answer. C. $10,000. Explanation. In Mississippi, the maximum fine that can be imposed on an insurance company for violating state regulations is $10,000 per violation. This is intended to enforce compliance with insurance laws and regulations. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 8391 outlines penalties for insurance violations. Question 64. Which of the following is a key feature of actual cash value? See in property insurance. A. Replacement cost minus depreciation. B. Full replacement cost. C. Fair market value. D. Replacement cost plus depreciation. Correct answer. A. Replacement cost minus depreciation. Explanation. Actual cash value, ACV, is defined as the replacement cost of property at the time of loss minus depreciation. This means that the payout for a covered loss will be less than the amount needed to replace the property due to the depreciation that has occurred over time. Relevant law. Many policies in Mississippi utilize a CV to determine payouts for property losses. Question 65. What is the primary purpose of the Mississippi Insurance Department? A. To write insurance policies. B. To investigate insurance fraud. C. To regulate and oversee the insurance industry. D. To provide insurance directly to consumers. Correct answer. C. To regulate and oversee the insurance industry. Explanation. The Mississippi Insurance Department's primary purpose is to regulate and oversee the insurance industry within the state. This includes ensuring compliance with state laws, protecting consumers, and maintaining the financial integrity of insurance companies operating in Mississippi. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 8311 establishes the role of the insurance department. Question 66. Which of the following best describes underwriting in the context of property insurance? A. The process of investigating claims after an incident. B. The analysis and evaluation of risk before issuing a policy. C. The review of policy coverage limits by the insured. D. The negotiation of premium rates with the insured. Correct answer. B. The analysis and evaluation of risk before issuing a policy. Explanation. Underwriting refers to the process by which insurers assess the risk associated with insuring a person or property. Underwriters analyze various factors to determine whether to accept the risk and at what premium. Relevant law. Underwriting practices in Mississippi follow general industry standards. Question 67. In Mississippi, which of the following would typically be covered under a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Damage from a flood. B. Damage from an earthquake. C. Damage from a fire. D. Damage from war. Correct answer. C. Damage from a fire. Explanation. Homeowners insurance policies generally cover damage from fire as it is considered a standard peril. However, damage from floods and earthquakes typically requires separate coverage or endorsements, and war is usually excluded altogether. Relevant law. Mississippi homeowners policies follow standard coverage guidelines, which include fire damage. Question 68. What is the primary difference between replacement cost and actual cash value? A. Replacement cost is always higher than actual cash value. B. Actual cash value includes depreciation and replacement cost does not. C. Replacement cost is only applicable to personal property. D. Actual cash value is based on market trends and replacement cost is not. Correct answer. B. Actual cash value includes depreciation and replacement cost does not. Explanation. Replacement cost refers to the amount required to replace an asset without factoring in depreciation, whereas actual cash value takes depreciation into account. This means replacement cost typically results in a higher payout compared to actual cash value. Relevant law. Many policies define these terms explicitly in accordance with Mississippi insurance regulations. Question 69. Which of the following must an insurer provide to a policyholder when denying a claim in Mississippi? A. A verbal explanation. B. A written notice including the reason for denial. C. A refund of premiums paid. D. An opportunity for a personal meeting. Correct answer. B. A written notice including the reason for denial. Explanation. In Mississippi, when an insurer denies a claim, they are required to provide a written notice to the policyholder that includes the reason for the denial. This helps ensure transparency and allows the policyholder to understand the basis for the decision. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83113 outlines the requirements for claim denial notifications. Question 70. What is a deductible HECA property insurance policy? A. The amount paid by the insurance company for a claim. B. The amount the policyholder must pay out of pocket before coverage kicks in. C. The premium discount for higher coverage limits. D. The amount refunded to the insured at the end of the policy term. Correct answer. B. The amount the policyholder must pay out of pocket before coverage kicks in. Explanation. A deductible is the amount that the insured must pay out of pocket before the insurance policy begins to cover the remaining costs of a claim. Higher deductibles typically result in lower premiums as the policyholder assumes more risk. Relevant law. Deductibles are defined in Mississippi insurance policies and affect claim settlements. Question 71. In Mississippi, which of the following types of insurance is typically required by law for vehicle owners? A. Liability insurance. B. Collision insurance. C. Comprehensive insurance. D. Personal injury protection. Correct answer. A. Liability insurance. Explanation. In Mississippi, liability insurance is required by law for all vehicle owners. This coverage helps pay for damages or injuries that the insured may cause to other people or their property while operating a vehicle. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 63151 mandates liability insurance for motor vehicles. Question 72. What is the purpose of the financial responsibility law in Mississippi? A. To ensure all drivers have adequate coverage. B. To prevent insurance fraud. C. To provide uninsured motorist coverage. D. To guarantee insurance companies meet state regulations. Correct answer. A. To ensure all drivers have adequate coverage. Explanation. The financial responsibility law in Mississippi is designed to ensure that all drivers have adequate insurance coverage to pay for damages or injuries they may cause in an accident. This law helps protect both the insured and other parties involved. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 63151 through SS 63159 outlines financial responsibility requirements. Question 73. Which of the following would be considered an exclusion HECA standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Fire damage. B. Theft of personal property. C. Damage caused by an earthquake. D. Liability for personal injury. Correct answer. C. Damage caused by an earthquake. Explanation. Most standard homeowners insurance policies exclude coverage for damage caused by earthquakes, which typically requires separate earthquake insurance or endorsements. Fire and theft are usually covered under standard policies. Relevant law. Exclusions in homeowners policies are governed by standard insurance practices and Mississippi regulations. Question 74. In Mississippi, what is the primary purpose of the Unfair Trade Practices Act? A. To set insurance premium rates. B. To protect consumers from fraudulent practices. C. To regulate the sale of insurance policies. D. To oversee insurance company mergers. Correct answer. B. To protect consumers from fraudulent practices. Explanation. The Unfair Trade Practices Act is designed to protect consumers from deceptive and unfair practices within the insurance industry. This includes fraud, misrepresentation, and other unethical behaviors by insurers. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83171 et sec. outlines the provisions of the Unfair Trade Practices Act. Question 75. What is the maximum limit for personal liability coverage under a standard homeowner's policy in Mississippi? A. $100,000. B. $300,000. C. $500,000. D. There is no maximum limit. Correct answer. B. $300,000. Explanation. A standard homeowner's insurance policy typically includes personal liability coverage with a maximum limit of $300,000. This coverage helps protect homeowners from legal claims and associated costs arising from injuries or damages to others. Relevant law. Coverage limits may vary, but standard practices often follow these guidelines in Mississippi. Question 76. Which of the following types of insurance would most likely cover damage to personal property caused by a hurricane in Mississippi? A. Homeowners insurance. B. Flood insurance. C. Windstorm insurance. D. All of the above. Correct answer. D. All of the above. Explanation. In Mississippi, homeowners insurance may cover hurricane-related damages, but flood insurance is essential for covering flood-related losses. Windstorm insurance is specifically designed to cover damages caused by high winds associated with hurricanes. Thus, all these options may provide coverage depending on the specific terms of each policy. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance policies must clearly outline the coverage for natural disasters, including hurricanes. Question 77. In Mississippi, which of the following is a requirement for an insurance agent's continuing education? A. 10 hours every year. B. 15 hours every 2 years. C. 24 hours every 2 years. D. No continuing education required. Correct answer. C. 24 hours every 2 years. Explanation. Mississippi law requires insurance agents to complete 24 hours of continuing education every 2 years to maintain their license. This requirement helps ensure that agents stay current with industry changes and regulations. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 831723 outlines the continuing education requirements for insurance agents. Question 78. What type of coverage is provided by a personal umbrella policy? A. Additional coverage above homeowners and auto liability limits. B. Coverage for property damage only. C. Coverage specifically for business activities. D. Basic liability coverage for personal injuries. Correct answer. A. Additional coverage above homeowners and auto liability limits. Explanation. A personal umbrella policy provides additional liability coverage that goes beyond the limits of standard homeowners and auto insurance policies, protects the insured from large claims that could exceed their basic policy limits. Relevant law. Personal umbrella policies are governed by standard insurance practices and regulations in Mississippi. Question 79. Which of the following is a characteristic of a non-renewal notice sent by an insurer? A. It indicates a policy will be renewed automatically. B. It must be sent at least 30 days before the policy expiration. C. It allows for immediate cancellation of the policy. D. It is optional for the insurer to send. Correct answer. B. It must be sent at least 30 days before the policy expiration. Explanation. In Mississippi, if an insurer decides not to renew a policy, they are required to send a non-renewal notice at least 30 days before the expiration of the policy. This gives the policyholder time to seek alternative coverage. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83111 establishes requirements for non-renewal notices. Question 80. In Mississippi, if a homeowner experiences a total loss due to covered peril, what is the maximum amount the insurer is obligated to pay under the policy? A. The market value of the home. B. The amount of coverage selected in the policy. C. The replacement cost minus depreciation. D. The average of the last 3 appraisals. Correct answer. B. The amount of coverage selected in the policy. Explanation. In the event of a total loss, the insurer is obligated to pay the maximum amount specified in the policy, provided the loss is due to covered peril. This amount can be based on the home's coverage limit or actual cash value, depending on the policy terms. Relevant law. Policy coverage limits and obligations are outlined in Mississippi insurance regulations. Question 81. Which of the following is NOT typically covered under a standard auto insurance policy in Mississippi? A. Bodily injury liability. B. Theft of the insured vehicle. C. Damage to the insured vehicle from a flood. D. Mechanical breakdown of the vehicle. Correct answer. D. Mechanical breakdown of the vehicle. Explanation. A standard auto insurance policy typically does not cover mechanical breakdowns. Coverage for mechanical failures is usually available through an extended warranty or separate mechanical breakdown insurance. Relevant law. Mississippi insurance regulations define the coverage options for auto policies, excluding mechanical breakdowns. Question 82. What is the purpose of the Mississippi Insurance Guarantee Association? A. To provide insurance education. B. To protect policyholders if an insurer becomes insolvent. C. To regulate insurance rates. D. To issue new insurance licenses. Correct answer. B. To protect policyholders if an insurer becomes insolvent. Explanation. The Mississippi Insurance Guarantee Association provides a safety net for policyholders by covering claims if an insurance company becomes insolvent. This ensures that policyholders can still receive benefits despite the insurer's financial issues. Relevant law. The operations of the Mississippi Insurance Guarantee Association are outlined in Mississippi Code SS 83231 et sec. Question 83. In a typical homeowner's insurance policy, which of the following would be covered under personal property coverage? A. Land and landscaping. B. Detached structures like a shed. C. Personal belongings inside the home. D. Business inventory stored in the garage. Correct answer. C. Personal belongings inside the home. Explanation. Personal property coverage in a homeowner's insurance policy typically covers personal belongings inside the home, such as furniture, clothing, and electronics. Other items, such as land and business inventory, may have different coverage requirements. Relevant law. Homeowners insurance policies outline coverage specifics as defined by Mississippi insurance regulations. Question 84. Under Mississippi law, what is the minimum liability coverage required for personal auto insurance? A. $15,000 for bodily injury per person. B. $30,000 for bodily injury per accident. C. $25,000 for property damage. D. All of the above. Correct answer. D. All of the above. Explanation. Mississippi law mandates minimum liability coverage for personal auto insurance to be $15,000 for bodily injury per person, $30,000 for bodily injury per accident, and $25,000 for property damage. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 63154 specifies the minimum coverage requirements for auto insurance. Question 85. Which of the following statements is true regarding uninsured motorist coverage in Mississippi? A. It is mandatory for all drivers. B. It covers damages to the insured's vehicle only. C. It protects against losses caused by drivers with insufficient insurance. D. It is not available in Mississippi. Correct answer. C. It protects against losses caused by drivers with insufficient insurance. Explanation. Uninsured motorist coverage in Mississippi is designed to protect drivers from financial losses caused by drivers who do not have insurance or who have insufficient coverage. While it's not mandatory, it is highly recommended. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 8311101 governs uninsured motorist coverage and options for policyholders. Question 86. Which of the following is a common exclusion in commercial general liability insurance? A. Product liability claims. B. Bodily injury caused by employee negligence. C. Intentional acts of the insured. D. Advertising injury claims. Correct answer. C. Intentional acts of the insured. Explanation. Commercial general liability insurance typically excludes coverage for damages resulting from intentional acts by the insured. This protects insurers from claims related to willful misconduct. Relevant law. The terms of exclusions in commercial general liability insurance are standardized and regulated under Mississippi insurance law. Question 87. What type of coverage is typically provided by a business owner's policy, BOP, in Mississippi? A. Liability coverage only. B. Property coverage only. C. A combination of property and liability coverage. D. Health insurance for employees. Correct answer. C. A combination of property and liability coverage. Explanation. A business owner's policy, BOP, typically provides a combination of property and liability coverage designed to meet the needs of small to medium-sized businesses. It simplifies insurance for business owners by bundling key coverages. Relevant law. The structure and requirements of BOPS are guided by Mississippi commercial insurance regulations. Question 88. Which of the following best describes the actual cash value in property insurance? A. Replacement cost without depreciation. B. Market value of the property. C. Replacement cost minus depreciation. D. Purchase price of the property. Correct answer. C. Replacement cost minus depreciation. Explanation. Actual cash value, ACV, in property insurance refers to the replacement cost of an item minus depreciation. This method determines how much an insurer will pay for a loss based on the item's current value. Relevant law. The definition of ACV is commonly found in property insurance policy terms and conditions. Question 89. Under Mississippi law, what is required for an insurance company to cancel a policy? A. The insurer must provide a 10-day notice. B. The insurer must provide a 30-day notice. C. The insurer can cancel immediately without notice. D. The insurer must wait until the end of the policy term. Correct answer. B. The insurer must provide a 30-day notice. Explanation. In Mississippi, an insurer must provide at least 30 days' notice before canceling a policy. This gives policyholders time to seek alternative coverage. Relevant law. Mississippi Code SS 83111 outlines the notification requirements for policy cancellations. Question 90. What is the primary purpose of a flood insurance in Mississippi? A. To cover damages from all natural disasters. B. To provide coverage for damages from flood events only. C. To protect against losses from theft and vandalism. D. To insure against earthquakes. Correct answer. B. To provide coverage for damages from flood events only. Explanation. Flood insurance specifically provides coverage for damages caused by flooding. It is separate from standard homeowners insurance, which may not cover flood-related losses. Relevant law. Flood insurance requirements and policies are governed by the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, and local Mississippi regulations.